Right, so we are here. Where are we? We're here in Dubreka with other volunteers. We're talking about challenges in Peace Corps, the variety of challenges in Peace Corps. Let's see what our first volunteered has to say about challenges in Peace Corps.
No, ask Yori.
Yuri, tell me about challenges. Your biggest challenge in Peace Corps.
I think my biggest challenge in Peace Corps is the balance between integration process and, I don't know how to put this. It's like you want to integrate, but also there's such a large pressure in your community, even when you're spending a lot of time with them, that you don't feel like you're doing enough sometimes. So it's that pressure to always do more. I think that's the biggest challenge thus far.
It's hard to teach kids who either don't want or don't know how to be taught. And you can tell somebody a million times to do something, but if they don't do it, I don't know how else to help them. And the not serious one is nobody ever fucking leaves me alone. Oh, also food. I miss food a lot.
What's the food you miss the most? If you could just have anything right now.
A Chipotle burrito.
Yeah, I hear you. That'd be yummy.
Just like a bunch of feta cheese.
A bunch of feta?
Just like a whole bunch. Maybe chicken fingers.
Ooh.
Or Subway.
You excited for Conakry?
Yeah, I'm super
For
excited.
food?
It's pretty sexist here a lot of the times, and you talk about how the Ghanaian women are treated, but it's really, really not great for them. But I think that a lot of that, we're sort of a third gender. You say that a lot as a Peace Corps volunteer because you're sort of this strange woman with an education, and a woman with an education does get more respect sometimes. But I think that, yeah, we definitely get a lot of disrespect that is usually reserved for women in general. So.
Yeah. This was one of the aspects of this training for IST that I was really looking forward to working out with our counterparts here, because we can only explain so much at our sites how we and how other women in our community deserve to be treated, but when especially the majority of our counterparts are men, and so when we are explaining this to their faces with other men surrounding them, it can get transformed into jokes and completely lost in discussion. So having this structured setting to address the topics that we want, like treating women equally in the workplace at our schools, and talking about the barriers to young girls receiving their education, like early marriage, forced marriage, getting pregnant in schools, and sexist jokes that professors make to only the female students. That was really nice to discuss in a structured setting.
No, very validates all the things I've been feeling and all of the things I've been trying to say for what feels like it's now 5 months or something like that. But now that it's someone from the Peace Corps that's standing up in front of the room, and oftentimes it is a man standing up in front of the room and sort of explaining these things, it's sort of, they listen more, which is a little frustrating, but it's also okay, now I have an ally that at least has heard these things. So,
and I also want to point out that there are plenty of great role models of Ghanaian women, but at least in my community, we have 30 professors, including Zach and I, and there's one other woman and me, and she's pregnant right now and is going to stop teaching soon, so I'll be the only woman there. And so the girls don't have many, I can tell them so many times that, there are successful women in Guinea and other places, but they don't see it. And so it's hard to understand that. So I think getting our counterparts to realize that, and realize that if the girls can if we can keep them interested in staying at school and getting their diplomas, they can come back and be good role models for the community and inspire more girls.
100%.
So there's a lot of people from G34 and other Peace Corps countries who are applying or thinking about applying. What are some conseils you might give them? I mean, just in general. or about being, especially for the women?
I mean, for me, it's super helpful for me to like literally just connect with my mom, who's my super strong role model. And if I had like a man who like yelled at me a certain day because I forgot to tell him one thing, I'll like complain to my mom and she's like, it's a different culture, like you're stronger than this, don't let it get to you. And just hearing her like repeat that again and again is super, super important for me. And really, she was a Peace Corps volunteer too, so she always says like, I've been through this, I understand this, like I know it's hard, but it will make you a better person and you're setting a good role model for the girls in your community.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think that something that I took away from one of our sessions was on how to be an ally was asking how you can help if you're not sure, because I think the bystander effect is so common. And because a lot of us are isolated, a lot of us see each other a few times a year, we don't know what someone else has been going through until it's too late sometimes. So just asking, just reaching out and checking in and seeing if things are okay. And when you hear something that is concerning, instead of backing away, asking how you can help if you're not sure how to. That can make a big difference.
That's good. Okay, Rosie, show them how it's done.
Talk about challenges.
Challenges.
Okay, challenges. A challenge for me is that because I teach at a university, I have a very unusual site and a very unusual job, and that gives me some challenges that other people don't have, and I also don't have challenges that a lot of other volunteers do face. Like, I live in a house, and I have power at night, so that's good. On the other hand, in terms of my work, I had to write my own curriculum in the fall, which was a lot of work, And I teach students who are all older than I am, and they're almost all men. So I have some trouble getting them to be quiet and to respect me in class, because even if I don't tell them my age, they can tell that I'm younger. A lot of them are in their late 20s or even 30. I will say there's no cheese. The first thing I want to eat when I go back to the US is queso. No one may speak to me until I've eaten queso. And then I guess what I'm tired of is the jokes about men wanting to marry you, which I told a Ghanaian, it's okay one time, but the 15th time you're pretty tired of it.
Yeah.
What?
He wants to say something
What do you
now.
want to say? Tell the people what you want to say.
My challenge is in being here. Wow, I thought I had my thoughts together.
I thought you did too. You told me you were ready.
But finding a balance between your ideas and of like what your ideas are of progress and what they view should be done. Like, I guess it's a balance between culture that's already there and new ideas, and like where and how should you push on your ideas. Like, never being fully understood in your community is hard.
I think that's actually kind of interesting to hear you say, because like you speak French,
Yeah, but
I mean, I guess your community doesn't always speak
my
French.
community doesn't really speak French, and like even if I do, they just don't understand my perspective really,
Yeah.
and they have like ideas of what like I'm like, and which aren't always true.
Yeah.
So being misunderstood, like for example, people think I like sleep all day because I'm in my hut,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean I'm not working. Well, I'm not in my hut all day every day, but
No,
when I am in my hut,
yeah.
it's like that. Also, in general, like personally, I've learned to just be less scared of like speaking up, and when I need to work on this still, but like when something's like not right or someone says something, like not being afraid to be like, hey, like that isn't right, or you shouldn't talk to people like that. But that's what's hard with the culture part, because part of the culture is like there's a lot of joking and a lot of teasing, but like when is that not appropriate and when is it?
Yeah. Who knows?
So yeah.
Definitely the first point, like about having to like check yourself, having to balance what you
Yeah.
want to do, and I found myself in that 100%. Like, just like, I want to start this club and this club, and then be like, you know, I can't do that alone.
No. And like, if they're not interested, like, sometimes I think some of them aren't motivated and they just love to talk and complain about things. But it's like, let's do something. Like, let's wake up. Like, let's be like dynamic and like efficient. But no, that's not how it's
Classic.
working.
La Guinea, c'est difficile, que?
Oui.
I hate that. Hate it. Good thing Drex arrived.
I was trying to be discreet. I thought you were doing something formal or something. So I guess one of my biggest challenges, well, I don't guess. One of my biggest challenges is trying to make sure that projects are sustainable and that people are really convinced and on board with the idea so that it continues after the volunteer leaves. That's one of my biggest challenges. I could name another, I guess. Number 2 biggest challenge is kind of providing discipline to an organization, like my club, but also, I don't know, walking the line between fun and serious. It's a little bit of a challenge.
It's a fair one. What's a fun challenge?
A fun challenge?
I mean, not a fun challenge, but like...
I don't know. I like teaching. Teaching's a fun challenge. I like my 7th grade teachers. My 7th grade students. I like septième. They're just like, they're so impressionable. You can like really get them so pumped up and like excited so easily, and it's just really fun to watch.
Any final closing comments?
My closing comments are that, I forgot to talk about food.
Oh,
that is a big
wait,
challenge.
I'm gonna sit back down because this will take
I mean,
years.
No, it might not take years. Just in brief, like, life is good here, we're having fun, everything. But sometimes, like, sometimes I'm outside and I'm like craving something really badly. And I've never felt that. And I like can't do anything about it. Just have to
What do you
go
crave?
Like, I don't know.
Like,
just
if you had
feel-
Uber Eats right now, and you could just like click a button and it arrives, what would you get?
I get like a cheese platter or something.
Dude, it's always cheese. It really is always
It really
cheese.
always is, but like, it's just not having that option. Like, I don't think people realize in the U.S. or in Europe or in any other part of the world the amount of variety they have, and I don't think people realize that, and people just take it for granted. So don't take it for granted, and be appreciative of what you have.
Tiffany? Oh, wait, you gotta sign us off.
So there's down below there are comments. You can write comments. You can also share. There's probably a little box that says share. You can you could subscribe. Yeah, I don't know if I'm subscribing.
What? You've been in like half the videos.
Yeah, I need to subscribe. Shout out to my brother Mark who's watching this. He subscribed, and so do be more like him and subscribe.
Okay, good sign off. That's that.
Are you gonna go like this?
I'm gonna go.